The first punch landed so hard that the entire school hallway went silent. Nobody expected a quiet black mother named Elena Carter to step forward and hit the biggest bully in the school. But Elena was not thinking about herself. She was thinking about the frightened boy lying on the floor. A few seconds earlier, the boy had been surrounded by 3 teenagers. One of them had grabbed his expensive jacket, while another pushed him against the lockers. The third boy laughed. "Give us your wallet, or you are going to regret coming here." The frightened boy shook his head. "I do not have anything." The bully raised his fist, then Elena appeared. "Stop." The teenagers turned around. One of them laughed. "This does not concern you, lady." Elena looked at the boy on the floor. She saw blood near his eyebrow. Then she looked back at the bully. "It concerns me now." The bully smiled. "What are you going to do about it?" Elena stepped closer. "Walk away." The bully laughed again. Then he pushed Elena. That was his biggest mistake. Elena reacted instantly. Her fist struck his face. The bully fell backward and crashed against the lockers. Everyone froze. The other 2 teenagers ran away. Elena immediately knelt beside the injured boy. "Are you hurt badly?" The boy looked at her with frightened eyes. "I think I am okay." Elena helped him stand. "What is your name?" "Daniel." Daniel looked around nervously. "Please do not call the police." Elena frowned. "Why not?" He whispered. "They will come after me again." Elena felt something was wrong. She took him to a nearby bench and called emergency services. While they waited, Daniel kept looking at the expensive black car parked across the street. Elena noticed. "Do you know that car?" Daniel nodded. "It belongs to my brother." Before Elena could ask another question, the car door opened. A tall man in a dark suit rushed toward them. "Daniel." The man stopped when he saw the blood on his brother's face. Then he looked at Elena. "Who are you?" Elena stood up. "My name is Elena Carter. I found him being attacked." The man looked confused. "You saved my brother." Elena shook her head. "I only did what anyone should have done." The man stared at her, but he did not know that Elena had just saved the younger brother of the most powerful businessman in the city. His name was Marcus Reed. Marcus owned Reed Global. His company controlled hotels, construction companies, transportation businesses, and several technology firms. People feared him, employees respected him. Competitors avoided him, but Marcus had one weakness: his younger brother Daniel. Daniel had been attacked before, but this time something was different. The attackers were not random. Marcus looked at Elena. "Did you see their faces?" "Yes." "Can you describe them?" Elena nodded, but before she could answer, Daniel grabbed her arm. "Please do not tell him." Marcus looked at his brother. "Tell me what?" Daniel lowered his eyes. "Nothing." Marcus knew his brother was hiding something. He looked back at Elena. "Please come with us." Elena refused. "I have to go home." Marcus reached into his pocket. "At least let me thank you." Elena shook her head. "I do not need money." Then Marcus noticed the worn shoes on her feet, the old handbag, the tired expression on her face. He understood that she was struggling. Still, she refused his money. "I helped your brother because he needed help." That is all. Elena walked away. Marcus watched her disappear into the crowd. He had no idea that this woman would soon become the most important person in his life. That night, Marcus investigated the attack. The security footage shocked him. The 3 teenagers were connected to someone inside his company. Someone had paid them. Someone wanted Daniel frightened, but why? The next morning, Marcus received another surprise. His security chief placed a photograph on his desk. It showed Elena. Marcus stared at it. "Where did you get this?" "She has been working at the Westbrook Hotel for the last 6 months." Marcus looked closer. The Westbrook Hotel belonged to him. His security chief continued. "There is more. Elena has a daughter. Her name is Maya." Marcus looked confused. "What does that have to do with Daniel?" The security chief hesitated. Maya was in the same school as Daniel. Marcus stood up. "Find out everything." Meanwhile, Elena returned home. She had barely entered the house when Maya ran toward her. "Mom," Elena smiled. "What happened, sweetheart?" Maya hugged her tightly. "Someone came to the school asking about you." Elena stopped smiling. "Who? I do not know. He asked my teacher where my mother worked." Elena felt a cold wave move through her body. She locked the front door. Then she checked every window. Something was wrong, very wrong. Later that night, her phone rang. A hidden number. Elena answered. "You should not have interfered." Elena froze. "Who is this?" The voice laughed softly. "You punched the wrong man." Elena looked toward her sleeping daughter. "What do you want?" "Stay away from Daniel Reed. Otherwise your daughter will pay the price." The call ended. Elena stood completely still. She knew fear. She had lived through poverty, betrayal, and loss, but nobody threatened her daughter. Nobody. She grabbed her coat. Then she noticed something outside the window. A black car was parked across the street. Someone was watching the house. Elena quietly turned off the lights. She moved Maya to the back room. Then she called the only person who might help. "Marcus Reed." When Marcus answered, Elena spoke only one sentence. "They are threatening my daughter because I saved your brother." Marcus went silent. Then his voice became cold. "Elena, do not leave your house. I am coming." But neither of them knew that the real enemy was already inside the Reed family. And the person behind the attack had been waiting years for revenge. Marcus arrived within 15 minutes. 3 black cars stopped outside Elena's house. Security officers surrounded the property. Marcus entered through the front door. "Where is your daughter?" Elena pointed toward the bedroom. Marcus walked inside. Maya was sitting on the bed, holding a stuffed rabbit. When she saw Marcus, she became frightened. Elena stepped beside her. "He is here to protect us." Marcus looked at the child. "Nobody is going to hurt you." Then Marcus received a message. His security team had identified the man watching Elena's house, but the man had disappeared. Marcus became furious. He ordered his team to investigate every person connected to Daniel. Hours later, the truth began to appear. The teenagers who attacked Daniel had been paid by a former Red Global executive named Victor Hale. Victor had once been Marcus' closest friend. Years earlier, Marcus had discovered that Victor was stealing millions from the company. Marcus had fired him and reported him to the authorities. Victor had sworn revenge, but Marcus discovered something even worse. Victor had been secretly using Daniel to reach him. Daniel knew about the stolen money. That was why he had been targeted. Elena listened silently. Then she remembered something. The day Daniel was attacked, he said something strange. "He told me they wanted a file." Marcus looked at her. "What file? I do not know." Marcus turned toward Daniel. Daniel finally admitted the truth. "I found a hidden account. Victor used it to move money. I copied the evidence." Marcus stared at him. "Where is the evidence?" Daniel looked at Elena. "I gave it to someone who—" Daniel hesitated. "Elena." Everyone turned toward her. Elena looked shocked. "Me." Daniel nodded. "The day before the attack, I accidentally left a folder at the hotel." Elena had found it. She thought it was ordinary paperwork. She had taken it home because she planned to return it. Marcus immediately asked her to bring the folder. Elena searched her room. She found it inside an old drawer. Marcus opened it. Inside were bank records, photographs, names, and transaction details. Victor had been stealing money for years. But there was one page that shocked everyone. The final transaction was made only 2 days earlier. It showed a payment to one of Marcus' own security officers. Marcus realized the betrayal was much bigger than he thought. Victor had someone inside his company, someone close to him. Suddenly the lights went out. Maya screamed. Elena pulled her daughter close. Marcus ordered everyone to stay down. A window shattered. Someone fired into the room. Marcus pushed Elena and Maya behind the sofa. Security officers rushed inside. After several terrifying minutes, the attackers escaped. But they left something behind, A small black envelope. Marcus opened it. Inside was a photograph of Elena. On the back were 6 words: "She knows too much." Elena looked at Marcus. "What happens now?" Marcus looked at her. "Now we end this." The next morning Marcus announced a major company meeting. Victor appeared confident. He believed Marcus had no evidence. He entered the boardroom smiling. Then the doors closed. Marcus stood at the front. "Victor, you should have left the city when you had the chance." Victor laughed. "You have nothing." Marcus looked toward the screen. The stolen money appeared. Bank records appeared. Security footage appeared. Then Daniel walked into the room. Victor became pale. Daniel looked directly at him. "You destroyed my life because you wanted revenge." Victor tried to escape. Security officers stopped him. But before Victor was arrested, he looked at Elena. "This is not over." Elena stepped forward. "It is over for you." Victor was taken away. Weeks passed. The police cleared Elena's name completely. Marcus offered her a position at Raid Global. Elena refused at first. "I do not want charity." Marcus smiled. "It is not charity. You earned it." Elena accepted the position. Maya received a scholarship. Daniel recovered from his injuries. But Marcus never forgot the woman who had stepped between a bully and his brother. One evening, Marcus invited Elena and Maya to dinner. He stood and raised his glass to Elena Carter. "The woman who saved my brother." Elena smiled. She looked at Maya. Then she looked at Marcus. "I only did what I hoped someone would do for my daughter if she ever needed help." Marcus nodded. "That is exactly why you changed everything." Elena thought the story was finally over. But months later, she received a letter. There was no return address. Inside was a photograph of Victor being taken to prison. Under it were 3 words: "He was not alone." Elena looked at Marcus. Marcus read the message. His face changed. Someone else had helped Victor, someone who had never been exposed. And beneath the photograph was one final line: "The real enemy is still watching." Elena knew the danger was not finished. She closed the letter. Then she smiled. Let him watch, because this time she was ready. And the woman who had once been ignored because she was poor was no longer standing alone. She had a family, she had powerful allies, and she had already proven that she would fight anyone who threatened the people she loved. The mystery had only just begun.